The largest victory after trailing by 10 points at halftime in 80 seasons. Vanderbilt dominates. We're live. Let's get it.
You are Locked On Vandy, your daily podcast on the Vanderbilt Commodores. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's good, everybody? Welcome into a live edition of the Locked On Vandy podcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Fresh off of a massive victory, dominating victory in Blacksburg over the Virginia Tech Hokies. Man, it was a hell of a game. It was one of those games where you just look at it and go, first half, you're probably sweating after being down by 10 points. It's 20-10 at halftime. Vanderbilt probably played the worst football it's played in quite some time. And things are looking somewhat bleak, right? I mean, that's usually the story. And Vanderbilt's history is, hey, we fold after that. Not this team. Definitely not this team. This is a different team. All right. And we'll talk about that. We're gonna spend the next 30 minutes talking about that. We are live. Your comments are welcome. Anchor down. And just, hey, if you were at the game, you're probably still at the game. You're probably walking back to your car right now. This is very, very fresh. But we are presented by FanDuel. Get NFL action is right here. So get in all your futures ASAP. Get in your bets for this Sunday. It's FanDuel.com. It is, yeah. So this game right here, man. Like let's get into it. All right, let's get into it. Okay, first of all, after a rough start, man, like they could have folded the tent. Virginia Tech's crowd was in a frenzy. Their team was hyped. Kyron Drones was hyped. They had like 200-something plus yards in the first half. They were dominating. They took the ball away twice. Penalties galore for Vanderbilt. I mean, not much else could have gone wrong for Vanderbilt in that first half. But guess what they did? They had this thing called grit. They showed absolute grit. But it is, I mean, unbelievable. The mental toughness, just the culture of this program, the turnaround, the way this team just came out and absolutely made a statement. And Jacob, I love the hype. I don't think I could put that up on the screen, but man, this is going to be this is setting up for an amazing Vandy at South Carolina game. Man, this team showed me something. And that's probably the biggest story of this night. There was breakout performances. The defense just annihilated the line of scrimmage. Offense annihilated the line of scrimmage, dominated that. But the biggest thing is it's bigger than this game. The thing that led us to this victory, to me, is bigger than the actual game. It's going into an environment like Lane Stadium. I got comment after comment like, you're an idiot. You're overselling Vandy. Chill out. You're understating Lane Stadium. You're blah, 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 blah. And this team showed that this ain't the same Vanderbilt team that everybody's used to. This is not the same. This is a team that's like, okay, we'll take your best punch and we're going to deliver some haymakers back ourselves. This is a tough team. This is a physically tough team, a mentally tough team with grit, and it shows. The way they hung in there, they did their thing. They never panicked, ever never panicked, right? They took Virginia Tech's best shot, and they delivered it back in the second half. That first drive of the second half was an absolute backbreaker. And, man, I love it, dude, because Virginia Tech fans, some of them in the comments all week were like, yeah, drones, we don't know about drones. All right, we would take Pavia too. And did you see him out there throwing blocks? Like, this team is different. People don't want to admit that. But this team is different, right? And, Jacob, South Carolina fans have been talking trash to me all off season long. This might be a FAFO type situation, but I mean, just nobody wants to believe it. This team is different. The leadership is incredible. It's coming from the head coach. It's not Diego Pavia ripping this up into a frenzy. He's helping it, but it's Clark Lee. You see Clark Lee. You see how he acts. You've seen how he acts on Netflix. You see how he acts on the sidelines. He is not the same guy. that he was the first 3 seasons. He's not even the same guy he was last year. He is intense, dude. And oh man, this team is, they're different. This team is built different. And people have been doubting that. People have been like, I don't know how many more times I can be right. Like, I see things within this team that other people don't, because they just want to assume it's the same old Vandy. And it's not. I keep telling you guys that. It's not. Now, at some point, there's going to be a team, because it's football and other teams have scholarship players. I don't know when that's going to be. I'm going to enjoy this as much as I can. All right, it's going to be a grade A matchup next week against South Carolina. I don't know what they're doing against South Carolina State right now, but it is. I mean, at one point they were down 3-0 after a delay. It was kind of a weird game, but I mean, I've never seen Vanderbilt make a team rage quit. And the stat they threw up at the end of the game, this is the largest margin of victory after being down 10-plus points at halftime, basically in Vanderbilt history in 80 years. That's wild. I've never seen a team after – it wasn't even a go-ahead touchdown. I appreciate the support, Brandon. It wasn't even a go-ahead touchdown. But when they scored that first touchdown out of halftime, Virginia Tech just quit. They just quit. They rage quit. That was it. They weren't even losing at that point. They quit. Because that touchdown got Vandy within 3. They quit. They absolutely quit. And Jacob, after that performance, I'm very confident. And you know me. I'm very confident until it hits triple zeros and we're on the losing end. We're gonna win it. Like it ain't gonna be easy, Brandon. But I do think we can get a win, because the way we affected Kyron Drones, I think we can get after Lenore Sellers in the same way. They harassed him once they kind of got settled. I think they harassed Kyron Drones. And they're gonna, obviously they're gonna watch film. They're gonna correct some of these mistakes, but like they're not gonna let Sellers get going, right? It's the same game plan as Kyron Drones, except Sellers is better, obviously. But I'm very confident in this game. After watching that, Jacob, after watching what I just watched, I'm super confident. That's no lie, and you know that. Yeah, I know. I'm fully aware of what Williams-Brice Stadium is. It is probably one of the guys that I've talked to that's played there, they say that is the most hostile environment. And one of my good friends who played at Georgia, he played at LSU. He's played at Tennessee. He's played at Williams-Brice. He's played at Oklahoma State when they were in the middle of their really good run in the late 2000s. He said Williams-Brice by far. Slow start? No, I just think they were just out of sync. It could have been. It could have been. They just didn't take care of the ball. I think Diego underthrew that first pass. Said they just put the helmet on the ball right there. And I think Coach Gregory was just trying to feel out their offense and not try to throw too much at them and try to make them drive, I think is what happened. Vanderbilt gave him a couple short fields, shot themselves in the foot with some penalties, things like that. It was the reason with the slow start. I don't know that the atmosphere really bothered them that well, but it is, the first drive they went down there, Virginia Tech. That's probably what South Carolina is going to do. They're probably going to drive down and get points, whether it's 3 or 6. Right? They're going to get points there for the first time they touch the ball, just because, like, if they get the opening kickoff, they're going to drive down and they're going to score some points. That's just how those atmospheres go. What Vanderbilt did a great job of doing is what grit is, the definition of grit. They took that and they just never panicked after that. Sure, they shot like 10,000 holes in their foot from that point until halftime. Luckily, they minimized the damage, but then out of the second half, I don't know what happened. They flipped a switch, and it was I think they were pissed off. I think Clark Lee got into them a little bit, right? And so, yeah, that's it's a Vandy team came back on the road with a lot of bad turnovers and penalties. Yeah, I think if they do that next week, you're getting beat. Like they have to do a better job taking care of the ball. They have to do a better job with penalties. I think some of the penalties were a little ticky tack. I'm never one to complain about officiating. It is what it is, but some of these calls were ridiculous. Like I think it seemed very lopsided. But yeah, that was just so exciting, man. And just to read all the comments all week and to see that performance, to see Lane Stadium emptying out in the third quarter. Fans were heading for the exits before the start of the fourth quarter. They showed a crowd shot in there. People were exiting. It was very empty towards the end of the game, obviously. But, man, good Lord, man. It was exciting, yeah. No panicking. I've seen Vandy slow start so many years. Yeah, and David, all those other years, they would have folded like a cheap suit, and Virginia Tech would have kicked their butts. I mean, it would have been ugly. Virginia Tech would have probably won 45-10 if this were like 3 years ago. They would have won 45-10 after that. But this year's team is totally different. Like Clark Lee, what he's built, like I don't think people realize just how good he is. I don't think people realize just what he was building and just what type of build he had ahead of him when he took the job in 2021. I don't think people realized how bad it was and how slow this rebuild was going to be. Like it took every bit of 5 years to get to this point. And the patience they showed with him is amazing. He's hired some great people around him. I think he's finally figured something out. He's got some sort of, I don't know. There's something happening with NIL. They're starting to get involved, and this is a major, major statement game, right? It's a major, major statement game. And yeah, Brandon, like I said, hey, it's all y'all, man. Like you guys support this thing. You guys make this thing what it is. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all jumping in. I appreciate y'all conversating. Man, this is just amazing. Just amazing feeling that like you watch just even 2 years ago, you watch Vanderbilt just stumble all over themselves and just get blown out. Clark Lee, after the end of the I guess you call it a brawl. I don't know what you call it. A skirmish at Tennessee. Like you watch that and going, this is rock. This team is just terrible. Like get rid of Clark Lee. That was that. And then it just changed. He changed. He had an epiphany. He overhauled it. Man, he's doing a lot of things right. So, man, I'm very, very excited. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to keep talking about this though, man, because there's a lot of things. There's some breakout performances. There's some guys that made a lot of plays, but let's hold that thought. I want to talk to you about FanDuel real quick though, man, because if you made some FanDuel bets tonight, you probably won, but the NFL season's here as well tomorrow, so get your NFL bets in. FanDuel's making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, if you bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So I love FanDuel because I do the I like the parlays that they build. I love doing the same game parlays, player prop. I spend more time on player props than anything, right? And it just makes things exciting. Like I can make a Browns Bengals game exciting. I don't like either team, but if I got some stuff on it, like let's say I got like a Joe Burrow is going to throw two touchdowns prop bet, I'm gonna pay attention to that, or my fantasy team or whatever. It's quick and easy. It's the best way to add a little more money and energy to Sundays. Apply that to college football Saturdays as well. I don't know if y'all played my picks, and we'll check on my picks. We could probably do that right now. Oklahoma, dub. Arizona State, maybe not. I don't think they covered. Missouri, I can't tell if they covered or not. But anyway, go to FanDuel right now. to take full advantage of this offer, and you will not regret it. FanDuel, download the app, play your game. Let's get, win some money. All right, we're back. We're going to continue this conversation. Vanderbilt, dominant. 44-20 in Blacksburg, down 20-10 at halftime. At one point, now they gained some yards. They got in the plus side of things. But at one point late in the second half, before they made the quarterback switch, Virginia Tech had minus 14 yards of total offense in the second half. Whoa. This defense, they cranked it up a few notches, man. It's really, really good. And again, thank you guys for making this thing what it is, man. And it probably would have if we weren't very proactive, Adam. It would have. But I think hiring Jerry Kill, he was like, no, they went over to Candace Lee's office and said, hey, we have to get involved. If we don't, we're going to get left in the dust and we're going to be a laughing stock. And they did. And here we go. We got this. We got a 44-20 butt kicking at Virginia Tech. I would have never thought that would have happened. I would always predicted a close game. 44-20, I didn't see that one coming. We kicked, it was brutal, right? It may be a consistent contender. They're going to be tricky. Nonetheless, Jacob, they're going to be tricky. Like, this is going to be, next week we'll tell you even more about what they're going to be. So it's going to be fun. That was Isaiah Glass. They were getting all kind of, he's got to work on his feet, man. He's got to work on his feet and his hands. He's holding a lot. And Jordan White's got to not get downfield. I think they were ticky tack on that a little bit because I don't think he was that far downfield. But this is also a good point. I think Kill and Beck have let Lee be himself. Huge hire, and Lee and Simmons recognized it. Yeah, it's I think for Clark Lee, I think it could have been an ego thing, right? And this is all culture. This was a culture game. All of this that happened, and I'm going to talk about Trey Richardson. I'm going to give him his flowers. I'm going to talk about Cedric Alexander. Diego Pavia did his thing. Eli Stowers come through huge throughout the second half, even late in the first half. But the fact that Jerry Kill was hired, the fact that Clark Lee went out and said, you know what, I'm going to put my ego aside. I'm going to hire Jerry Kill. Why? Because if it wasn't for health problems, Jerry Kill would be kicking everybody's butt at some Power 5 school. He probably would still be at Minnesota. And we would have never heard of PJ Fleck. He's a dude, man. He's a program builder. He understands. He's a great coach. But he has health problems, so he can't really engage into it as fully as he wants to. This is a perfect role for him. And he gets excited too. He's got to watch it though. He's gonna work himself out again. So he's got to. I guess he's got to keep that under control a little bit. But that dude gets excited, man. And that dude, I guarantee you, he came into Clark Lee and Clark Lee put his ego to the side and said, "Hey, I'm going to hire this guy. This guy's going to tell me, this guy's going to help me. He's going to help me fix everything, right?" And he did. And he probably told him some things he probably didn't want to hear. He was brutally honest about, hey, this is messed up. This is messed up. This is messed up. You got to fix it, or it's going to continue to be messed up, and you're going to be somebody's defensive coordinator. And Clark Lee took it to heart, and he fixed it. And he brought in great leadership. He formed a great leadership council on the team. Like, he's got great dudes, Diego Pavia, Eli Stowers, Corday Sidnor, Langston Patterson, CJ Taylor a year ago kind of helped establish this whole thing. Same with Ricky Wright. Like, this group, they just keep picking up the torch and running with it. It's a culture thing. It's totally a culture thing. It is totally shifted. This team actually believes, and this team has a chip on its shoulder. When Clark Lee said he was pissed off about people saying this is the same old Vanderbilt, we should just roll over and shut up and just sit in our place at 3 and 4 wins every single year, he meant that wholeheartedly. And that is disseminated amongst the team. That is filtered throughout the rest of the team. It is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. It's a bunch of leaders. Yeah, it is unreal, right? Yeah, it's I mean, this is going to be, Brandon, this game's going to be wild next week at Williams-Brice. Man, it's going to be wild. It's going to be electric, right? So, James, thanks for joining, man. What an incredible second half. Yeah, I've never seen something like that from Vanderbilt. Yeah, of course, we need to fix the penalties. That's still kind of sloppy, and I think, in SEC play that's going to get you beat. But I'm not going to focus on that. Obviously, there's things that you need to fix. There's going to be tons of things when they turn on the film that they need to fix. But the biggest part of this is, like I said, it's a culture thing. It's dominating. It's playing physical. It's you delivering the shots, not the other way around. We were proactive. We said, you know what? We're down 20-10. It don't matter. We played the worst football we've played in a long time. We're just going to go out and do our thing. Continue. They didn't say we're going to go out and do our thing. They're going to say we're going to continue to do our thing. And they did. And they made Virginia Tech quit. Because they just kept hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting. This team's different, guys. I don't know how many times I can say it. I know you guys in the chat believe me, but this is for the people in the comments that doubted it. This is for the Virginia Tech fans that said, Hokies by 3 touchdowns. To lose by 3 touchdowns, yes. To lose by 3 touchdowns. Right? This is, man, he's completely turned this thing around. Yeah, he absolutely has completely turned this thing around. Now he's got to keep the foot on the gas. That's the key. Foot on the gas. That's another thing. Clark Lee would have, years past, Clark Lee would have gone conservative there in the second half. Right when they took the lead, right when they went 23-20, they would have gone conservative, try to eat the clock. Nope. Pedal down. And he did. And what'd they do? Extended the lead. Berlowitz got a touchdown. So awesome, dude. So awesome. Bryson Coleman, first touchdown of the night. Man, that was the thing of beauty. That play design was a thing of beauty. Dude, this is awesome. Yeah, Jacob. I was going to say you were one of the ones, actually. I didn't want to call you out, but yeah, a lot of, I've heard the word delusional a lot. Right. I've been around enough teams. I've been around enough good teams and really crappy teams to understand some of the traits of both. And Virginia Tech has got a bad nucleus. They don't have good leadership to when they get hit in the mouth, they can recover. And that's where they falter. They faltered that last year. That's where they're going to falter. Right. South Carolina, they had some great resolve last year. I don't know what they're going to be like next week. That crowd's going to be in a frenzy. But honestly, it's not as big of a thing now. I don't think it's going to affect this team. Right? I don't think. But yeah, I've heard the word delusional tremendously amount. But I know what I know. And I don't know everything. Jacob, I don't know everything, but it's just a belief that what I'm seeing is right. And what I'm seeing is guys that are tough, guys that believe in each other. I'm just reflecting what the team believes in itself. That's all I'm doing. I'm just reflecting that. I'm reflecting what Brandon Fontenette believes. I'm reflecting what Diego Pavia believes, what Clark Lee believes, what Jerry Kill believes. You name any guy on that roster, what they believe, right? Jacob, no big deal. Anybody in their right mind before the season started could have called me delusional and been right. I had nothing to base it on except for just confidence, and that's all. But, I appreciate you jumping on, and I appreciate you being in the comments, and I appreciate you participating and all that, man. Yeah, no ill will there, man. So no apology needed, but it is so good to see all of this going down, man. So, yeah, Brandon, anchor down, don't drown, man. I love seeing that. I love seeing that in a lot and almost all of the videos that I put out, all of the content I put out. I love seeing that anchor down, don't drown. I love seeing that pop up. So that is yeah. But Jacob, you're a Tennessee fan. You're supposed to, you got that Tennessee in your avatar there. There's supposed to be a little bit of hate there, but I don't hate you, man. It's all in good fun, dude. It's all banter, man. That's all it is. Unless it's personal, I don't take it personal. And I know when it's obviously trying to be personal. So yeah. But it's all love, man. It's all love. We all love the same thing, man. We just want to watch good football. And Vanderbilt is certainly playing good football. So I'm gonna take another very, very quick break here. And we'll be right back. Yeah, I want to tell you guys about Upside, man. If you guys are still paying full price for gas, hey, man, if you guys are paying full price for gas, I want to talk to you about Upside, because if you download this free Upside app right now, you can get real cash back every time you fill up the free Upside app. So simply download the free Upside app in the App Store or Google Play right now and start earning cash at the pump today. Use my limited time promo code FOOTBALL to get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. You can make up to $300 a year just from buying the gas you already needed. At first, I thought it was too good to be true, but it's totally legit. Real people are getting paid just to make their daily commutes, and you can too. Plus, you can cash out at any time to your bank account or your PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon or other brands. Don't let this offer drive on by. Download the free Upside app now using your limited time promo code FOOTBALL for a limited time 25 cent per gallon bonus. That's promo code FOOTBALL. Offers may vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions. All right, thanks for making Locked On Vandy your first listen. If you need a second listen, Locked On SEC. They're going to start doing a reaction roundtable every Sunday morning. It's going to be a live stream. So if you want to catch that, whether I'm there or not, I think it'd be it's always fun. It's always relaxed. It's always just, it's basically like a live squad show where we're all just kind of giving our reaction. So I'm going to try to join that every week. I'll do my best to do that. But if you need some other listens, man, the reaction shows around here are outstanding. So lots of great games today. Games that I didn't think would be good were good. So including that, well, I knew this one was going to be good. So let me give some shine to a guy that when I put my impact players out earlier, I did a 6-pack. I did 3 offensive guys, 3 defensive guys, and the way I saw this game before it kicked off was, obviously, Diego Pavia is going to be an impact player in every game he steps into. So that one was obvious. I knew with the pending weather, the fact that we needed to dominate the line of scrimmage, which we did, and the fact that the run game was going to be so important, Cedric Alexander had to be there. And then the X factor was Eli Stowers, because he was going to be the one that this offense went through in the passing game and some of the, I don't want to call them gadgets because they're not gadgets, but using him in variations of the run and the option. So those 3 to me stood out the most because of the way I thought the game was going to unfold. If there was a 4th, it would have been Trey Richardson. And then, honestly, I probably could have switched Trey Richardson and Eli Stowers out and it would have been just fine. Trey Richardson broke out. He had a great game against Charleston Southern, but it's Charleston Southern, so wasn't sure if it was a true breakout, but we knew he had some skills. Tonight, some of the catches he made, unreal. That one catch when it was 3rd and long and they called the roughing the passer, which I thought they were going to call a hold back there where the flag was because they've been calling crap on us all night long. But and it should have been pass interference because that DB shoved him. But the DB gave up and he dove and made the catch. And then the touchdown catch later on in the drive. This dude is a Division II transfer. Are you kidding me? Oh, dude, this guy's amazing. Like we talked about one of the biggest position groups that I had questions about coming into the season, not because of lack of talent, but because just didn't know. We had some talented guys. Just didn't know how they were going to shake out and didn't know how this offense was going to utilize them, you know. Trey Richardson, dude, I knew he was going to be a weapon and somehow, and if they used him properly, he was going to make a huge impact. Yeah, that dude's a go-to receiver. Like he is he's wide receiver 1. That's him. Like he is, when you list the weapons, obviously Eli Stowers, best tight end in the country. Trey Richardson, going to be one of the top receivers in this conference. He's going to have a monster year. Holy cow. That dude broke out, man. That dude he's fast. He's nifty. He's got great concentration with the ball in the air. The way he just kind of tracks it and can make some plays. I wish there's some times where on contested catches where I wish he caught it away from his body a little bit. That's just me being nitpicky. But that dude broke out, man. Like, and Jacob will read this comment here in a minute, but that dude broke out, dude. So, yeah, Jacob, come on, man. Come on. Let's change that avatar, man. Let's just go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and do it, man. You don't need that. You don't need that orange tea in there. Come get you one of these anchors. Come get you one of these V's, man. Come get you one of those hats. Come get you one of those, right? Yeah, this team is just unreal, man. And as I wrap up the show, I'm going to do a more in-depth analysis. By the way, I'm watching some sort of, like, I got, post-game stuff up on the TV. They're showing a clip from the Tennessee game, and Kevin Hart was at the Tennessee game. That's wild, dude. Yeah, I'm going to do a full, more in-depth analysis of kind of like why certain things happened. This is, like I said, these are just kind of initial reactions, just kind of, it's why I seem kind of all over the place a little bit. But man, I just wanted to come on here. I'm going to wrap up here pretty soon. So any last comments you guys want to get in the live chat, hit me with them. But man, this team, they played great, man. And the atmosphere obviously was electric at the beginning of the game. And I don't know, I can't really pinpoint that it affected them. I know it juiced up Virginia Tech, and they played, that initial surge was because of the environment for them. I don't think we ever panicked because of it. I just think Diego made one bad throw. Seti didn't protect the ball on a perfect textbook hit from a linebacker. And we just held a bunch and got some penalties and false starts and stupid, we just shot ourselves in the foot. And I don't think it's because we panicked. I think it's just because they played at a different level. It took us a minute to adjust. And once we did, we Mike Tyson'd them, man. So I'm going to leave you guys with this. This is a great question, Jacob. Does Vandy beat South Carolina? Jacob, you know me probably better than most of the people in this chat as far as like how I am. I'm going to say yes. And if and when they do, if that comes true, which I've been, my percentage of good calls have been higher than my bad ones. So my record's still pretty good on these things. If they do, I think they get 20 or better. They come out of the South Carolina game 3-0, 20 or better. That's where they're going to be. So, man, Williams-Brice Stadium's up next. Man, following a marquee matchup after watching that, man, I'm going to leave you guys on that. This is going to be a fun week of content, man. But this team showed grit. This team showed dominance. This team showed a toughness that I didn't even see last year. Like the toughness of this year's team, this year's nucleus, this year's team would throttle last year's team. If you kind of, took like this year's Pavia is much more poised in the pocket. He's delivering. He's throwing block. I mean, good Lord, man, this is unbelievable. So with that being said, We're going to get out of here. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Enjoy any college football that's left. Enjoy your NFL Sunday. I'll be back around. Next piece of content come out early Monday morning. We're going to break this thing down further. What did we learn? We're going to take a peek at South Carolina on Tuesday. We're going to hear from Clark Lee on Wednesday what he has to say. Thursday, I'm going to join Chris Marler for a crossover, and then Friday we're going to do it all over again. Keys to the game. We're going to pick it and all that good stuff. So, all of you guys in the chat, thank you for participating. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys check it out. Like, subscribe, tell a friend. Tell them all to come on, right? Tell them all to come on. And Jacob, I'm going to convert you before the end of the season. You're going to be a full-on Vandy fan before the end of the season. That's my goal. So, that being said, we'll leave you on this last word right there, waterfowl. I certainly did. Thank you. Virginia Tech fans, look what he said right there. Look what waterfowl said. Got it? Anchor down. Peace.